So support for Trump's policies on immigration have absolutely positively fallen off a cliff, given how ugly it all is when you see it. So look at this from CBS News. CBS News poll finds support for Trump's deportation program falls. Americans call for more focus on prices. After 6 months that included a string of achievements on President Trump's legislative goals, views of his second term are increasingly defined by the difference between his political base, which likes what it sees, and the rest of the country, which has growing doubt. So they go on to discuss the big bullshit bill and things of that nature. But look at this. Here we go. Trump administration is trying to deport. 52% say more people than you'd expect. More people. So in other words, this is people saying, I don't know, man, I thought you were about to get criminals and shit. I thought you were going to get gangsters and human traffickers. And all I see is you rounding up the day laborer at Home Depot, dog. Like, what is this? 52%. They're deporting more people than I'd expect. Only 37% said about what you'd expect. And 11% said fewer people than you expected, which that 11% file under the Adolf Hitler category. 11% of America is apparently Adolf Hitlers. All right, let's continue. Who is Trump administration prioritizing for deportation? Now, in June, 53% of the country said they're prioritizing dangerous criminals. Now, that's dropped almost 10 points to 44% say they're prioritizing dangerous criminals. That's interesting. So because of the media coverage, because people see that they're raiding the Home Depots and the 7-Elevens and going after innocent people and seeing these horror stories of people who've been here for 30 fucking years and they get rounded up. Because of the media coverage, now it's gone from a majority of people saying they're getting dangerous criminals to now a majority say, no, these aren't dangerous criminals. These are like regular people that you're rounding up. All right, more. Do you favor or oppose the way the Trump administration is using detention facilities? 58% oppose. Gee, I wonder, look, I gotta be honest, that number's high, but I would expect that shit to be like 79%, 84%, something like that. Because they're doing alligator Alcatraz, bro. They sent people to fucking CCOT in El Salvador's slave labor gulag. They're sending people to Guantanamo Bay. Trump wants to send 30,000 people to Gitmo, dog. What? What are we talking about? It's good. The number's good because people are waking up and they're like, I don't like this, but it ain't good enough. Like, it's still kind of disturbing that 42% favor the way Trump is using detention facilities. But the more important point is, this is way more anti-Trump than it was before the election. Here's the interesting part of this one. Ready? So 93% of Democrats oppose the way Trump is using these detention facilities. 85% of Republicans support the way he's using these detention facilities. But ready for this? 66% of independents oppose the way Trump is using the detention facilities. So in other words, Trump has virtually no Democrats and virtually no independents. So it's only with his base, his hardcore base, that they support what they say here. Trump administration's program to deport immigrants illegally in U.S. Used to be 59% approved. Now it's all the way down to 49% approved. Even when you frame the question in a way that makes it sound more benign than it is, it dropped 10 points. Trump administration's program to deport immigrants illegally in U.S. Again, you have Democrats massively disapprove and independents massively disapprove. Deportation searches. Think Hispanic people are subject to more searches than others. 64% say yes. So in other words, people realize there's some racial profiling going on here. If you think Hispanic people being subject to more searches, is that fair? Only 22% say it's fair. So 78% are against stereotyping. On virtually every issue involving immigration, Trump's numbers have gone down. They asked stuff about inflation and whatnot too, but on virtually every issue involving immigration, Trump's numbers have gone down. Now, again, I want to reiterate this point because I feel like it's super important. The numbers have gone down because of the media covering it and saying, hey, this is fucked up. Hey, this is bad. Hey, this is not good. That's why the numbers have gone down. But imagine both the media covered it and you have a Democratic Party that was like, hey, this is bad. Hey, you're rounding up innocent people and sending them to a concentration camp. You're arresting a woman immediately after she gave birth. ICE agents went into a hospital and rounded her up. ICE agents deported a 4-year-old American citizen with cancer and no medicine. Right? How many horror stories do we have, bro? Like, if the media covered this and you had Democrats actually running against it and talking about it, I think we'd be in a much, much better place than we are right now. But his numbers are plummeting even without having any semblance of an opposition party, which speaks to how disastrous this regime is and how outright fascist they're acting. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.